Good evening, all. Welcome to our first episode of Brief Bit, sir, powered by Briefly. My name is Azam Rafiq, and I'm going to have a brief bit conversation with you. You are a renowned, like for many of you, Mr. Bharat Dabolkar, sir, is a renowned ad guru, actor, writer, director. The list just goes on, right, sir? Starting off from the world of advertisement. You have given identity to a number of brands like Videocon, Fruity, Appy, Bailey, and the famous Amul. Please share
Yeah.
your experience and the journey from a copywriter to the world of cinema.
You see, I am a lawyer by education. So I've done law and business management. I didn't want to get into advertising. Then later on, I got into advertising when I finished my law and everything. I got into advertising. And I got into advertising as a client servicing person, not as a creative person. I was handling all the major clients that our agency had at that time, which were Amul and Herbertsons and Sandoz and Glaxo and LIC and Bank of India. All those clients I used to handle. And while I was handling those clients, I started writing the advertising for those clients. How normally agencies work is that a client servicing person goes, takes a brief from a client, comes back and briefs the creative team in the agency, who then create the campaigns, and then he goes and presents them again. So to cut that whole journey short, I started writing on those clients myself. And they got approved. The clients, the campaigns that I was doing were approved. So my journey then became both client servicing and copywriting. So I was both creative and copy. And I continued that even till now. I do the same thing. I meet my clients, get a brief from them, and create campaigns for them. While I was doing all that, Mr. Dipuna, who was the owner of our agency, was into theatre, English theatre. So because of him, I started helping him out with his plays, and then I started writing my own plays. And then that became very popular because I till now have written about 32 English plays, musicals, and performed all of them. So that became an extra hobby after office hours to do theatre. Just one sec. And then what happened was, while I was doing that, one day I got a call from Shah Rukh saying that, Bharat, I'm doing a film called One Two Ka Four. Would you like to act in it? I said, look, I'm in advertising. I won't be able to leave my office for too long. He said, no, we are shooting in Mumbai. We're not shooting outside Mumbai. Most of the shots would be either in Bandra or somewhere around there. So it wouldn't bother you too much. So I started doing that film with Shah Rukh. And that film had lots of friends of mine. There was Jackie Shroff, who was a friend of mine from even before he got into films. There was Juhi Chawla, who was my friend from advertising. So I was amongst friends. So I started doing One Two Ka Four. Then I did another film, a client of mine, Goodnight Mohan, who's very famous for all his... I used to handle all his advertising for Goodnight and Hit Mosquitoes and Hit Cockroaches and all that. And he was a very big producer of films in South. He used to do Malayalam films with Mohanlal. And he introduced Priyadarshan to Bollywood. So he was making a film with Joy Augustine, who had launched Arshad Varsi with Tere Mere Sapne, Chandrachud Singh and Arshad Varsi. So he was doing a film called Pagalpan. So Mohan, who's a friend of mine, besides being a client, said, Bharat, I'm doing this film. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, you must act in that. So along with One Two Ka Four, I started acting in Pagalpan. That became an extra hobby after theatre. And it just went on. I mean, I never really made any efforts to get into film. That wasn't my interest. I had my advertising career going. I had a theatre which I was writing and enjoying. So I did these two films, and then I got a call from Ram Gopal Verma's office, and they said, Ramuji wants to meet you. So I went and met Ramuji, and he said, I'm doing a film called Company, and there's a role of a minister. And I want somebody who look more powerful than Ajay Devgan and Vivek Oberoi, who are the two dons in my film. So would you be interested? I said, look, I'm in advertising. I don't know how much time I'll have. He said, not too many days. we'll shoot for about 3 days in Switzerland and maybe about 2 days in Mumbai. So that was okay for me. So I went with Vivek's first film with Ramu, and we shot in Switzerland for 3 days. We shot in Mumbai for about 2 or 3 days again, and that went on like this. Then one day I got a call from Filmfare office saying that from Tamil Nadu, Rajnikant sir's office has called up and they wanted your telephone number. Can we give it to them? I said, of course, Rajnikant is calling. Of course, you give it to them. So I spoke to Rajnikant. He said, I'm doing a film called Baba, a Tamil film. I'm the leading man in that, and I'm looking at you to do the character of main character of the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Would you be interested? So I said, my God, just to meet him, I said, it makes no difference what the role is. If I'm getting a chance to meet Rajnikant, and you wouldn't believe this, I went and spent about 16, 17 days in Mysore where we were shooting. And I have never in my life met a man more fascinating than Mr. Rajnikant. I know everybody in this industry, and I have never met somebody who's so confident, yet so humble, so caring. So I spent about 17 days shooting that film. And I had a main role. I was the chief minister. I was his chief opponent. I was the chief minister of Tamil Nadu. And I had Amrish Puri as my tantric friend. He had a very small role. And I finished my shooting for 17 days. I came back. Everything was over. I had a wonderful time. I used to spend the whole day with Rajnikant. And there are stories. I mean, if I start telling you Rajnikant stories, you'll need about a 2-hour session. So I did that. And about a month and a half later, I got a call from them saying, can you come down to Chennai for half a day? I said, I finished my shooting. What is left now? They said, no, what happened was when we were editing the film, we realized that anybody who's insulted Rajni sir has got beaten up, but nothing has happened to you. So can you come for half a day? It's just a one night shoot. And we just have to beat you up. We have a double for you. And you can go back. I said, no, then if he's going to be there, I'll come for the whole day. If he's going to be around. So they said, yeah, he's there. So I went in the morning. I again spent one whole day with Rajnikant. And the night we shot, there was not, I didn't have too many shots because it was a thing about that we've taken away his powers because of the tantric thing that Amrish Puri does. So he's helpless now. He's got no power. And he's in front of a temple. He's buried in a ditch with burning coals put on him. So he's over. And I'm sitting in my Mercedes car and laughing because now he's finished. And suddenly from some place, one elephant comes or something. I don't remember what happens. And he comes out of that thing. He looks at me laughing, sitting in the Mercedes car. He comes, puts his hand, breaks the glass, pulls me out. My only shot was till then. Then he pulls me out of the car, and then there was a double they had who gets beaten up, trashed, thrown around, and all that. So I did that, and it was a wonderful experience. Not because it was a big role, but it was working with that man was something else. He's, why he's such a big icon. It's not just he's a film superstar. He's beyond all this. He's fantastic. And then I kept on doing. Then Madhur Bhandarkar was doing corporate. He's a friend of mine. So he called me and said, hey, since you're acting in film, act in my film. So I did corporate. Then I got a call from Yashraj Film, and they said we are doing a film in the US called Tararampam with Saif Ali Khan and Rani Mukherjee and Javed Jafri. Will you do that? So I went to US and shot for about 16 days there. And it went on. Then I did a Telugu film with Nagarjuna called, I think, King Number One or something like that. Then I did 2 Malayalam films with the top stars of Malayalam, Mohanlal, Dilip, Jairam, and later on with Prithviraj. So this film thing just went on like that. I mean, I wasn't really pushing.
It started off just with a flow, and you just went with the flow.
One thing led to
led to the another. Yes. Sorry, guys. Let me just invite him again. Sorry, guys. I hope he's back soon. Yes. Hopefully, we have him back soon. Please be a bit patient. Sorry for this glitch. In social media, going live, these things are pretty common to happen. Sometimes it's the connection, sometimes it's the not that there can be some technical errors also. So yes, he's back in a while, just a few minutes, maybe a few seconds. Till the time he comes back, uh, you guys do have a Q&A session at the last, so please be prepared with your questions, what all you want to ask him. We'll have a brief around 5 to 10 minutes for that, so looking forward for it. And I'm looking forward for the sir to come back online also. Let's hope this gets going. So most of you guys are aware of what Briefly does. So we give out summarized version of news in a short form. Uh, just a minute. So we have started out with this brief bit conversation. Yeah, he's back. Yes, sorry, he went again.
Okay.
Okay, we have a time crunch, but it's okay. We are
Yeah.
facing technical. Yes. So, like you said, you acted in Bollywood, Tollywood, Malayalam industry, Tamil. How do you feel? Like, what is the difference between all these industries? Like, what you felt?
Well, the difference between all these industries is, I mean, I've done, as I said, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi, Marathi, and I find that the South industry, which is whether it's Tamil or Malayalam or Telugu, they are far more disciplined. Even the big films there with the biggest of superstars, they are very disciplined. There's nothing like waste of time. If you have a 9 o'clock shift, everybody's there at 9 o'clock. So there is no time wastage. In Bollywood, what happens is a lot of time gets wasted by because there are bigger films. Bollywood, I think, makes larger films with more people. Like if I was doing Dabhang 3, there were some 350 people for one dance. So a large thing like this takes a long time to set up. But the discipline that I found in, no matter how big the stars were, was amazing. I mean, people like Mohanlal and things, you will never believe that these guys are superstars of Malayalam industry. They're very down to earth. They're very simple. And I find that right through all Southern actors.
Okay, so let's come back to your. So how have you cope up with, like, what are the techniques you have used to cope up with the crisis?
The crisis is not with the advertising industry. It is, if you're talking about the lockdown that's happened in the last 4 months, with manufacturing stopping and things like that, it's the entire work for everybody has stopped. But the thing is, I see it this way: it's a pause. Once everything starts again, once the manufacturing units start again, when the stuff starts coming back into the market, they'll have to advertise. And the wise
Yeah.
advertisers will not cut down on their advertising budgets, because what happens is the people's memory is very short. So in 4 months, if you haven't advertised your brand, there are great chances that they'll forget about your brand and
Get it.
think of something else that comes up new. So a good advertiser, a wise advertiser, would always advertise the moment this gets over. So I see that this year will be a drop in terms of revenues for everybody, because we've already wasted 4 months. Chances are,
months,
even
right?
by the time we come back, maybe a month, month and a half will still go, because we'll still end up, where television is concerned, we'll still end up using our old ads. We can make a press ad which is new, but television we can't shoot ads right now. But hopefully they're starting very soon.
Very
So
soon.
we'll lose about, I think we'll lose about 5 to 6 months of this year, but we'll come back. Every industry will come
Yeah,
back.
definitely will come back. Everything
Yeah,
what goes around, like, has to come back.
yeah.
On a
So it's
personal
not going to
note,
be like
how did you cope up with this national-wide lockdown? With all this, a lot of mental issues going around. Was it hard
I'm
for
very
you?
happy. I tell everybody this, whoever talks to me, I said, look, stop listening to the news. Don't put your TV on to see the news. All you're hearing about is how many cases have gone up today, in which part of the country, which part of the world, how many people have died, how many important people have caught the disease. I said, don't get into all that. There's nothing you can do about this. Whether there are 5,000 cases or 9,000 cases, there's nothing I can do personally. I just
Right.
have to worry that I take care of myself. That I don't step out without wearing a mask. I carry a sanitizer with me, keep a distance from people. So I said, don't get into worked up about what's happening in the world. See, unless you can do something about it, it's useless worrying about it.
Hmm.
So I said, talk to people who will tell you funny stories. Talk to your college friends or your other group friends who will tell you funny things. You laugh, have fun, share jokes. Don't get seriously worried about what's happening in the world, because there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean,
And
it's
I think
in a
that's the
good way.
best way to.
Lockdown has been helpful for us to get in touch with our friends and families.
Yeah, touch with our friends. And I keep on telling people that I told people in the first month, don't even write. I told my writer friends, just take it as a vacation. I said, when the whole thing opens up again, you'll anyway write things. You'll be
Right.
forced to
Yes.
write things. Right now, don't get into it. Just see films, talk to people, have fun, crack jokes, share funny stories. And that's the only way you can keep a positive attitude.
From the
My
past,
worry is that I see people keeping on talking, discussing, so many people got infected. In Mumbai, the rate is going up day by day. There's so many people dying. Even important people, ministers have got, and their secretaries have got this disease. And I say, so what can you do about this? Nothing. Just look after yourself, keep your mind happy, keep your body safe, and that's all you can do. And that's what I've been doing.
that's the most positive angle we can give to the crisis what we are facing now.
Yes.
And during this, from the past 4 months, what you've seen is a huge launch of movies in the OTT platforms.
Yeah.
If you see a lot, and that too, a lot of theater actors have been featured in these movies, and they've been given a chance to make their presence felt in the industry. So, how far do you think the OTT platform has helped evolutionize the industry?
You see, OTT platform is getting watched more and more. There are lots of films which are now feature films that are getting released on OTT platform, because they don't want to wait for theaters to open. Because theaters are going to take some time to open, even for dramas. Because when you talk about only having 30% attendance in a theater, it may not be economically viable for a person to run a film with 30% attendance.
Attendance, right?
Because I'll tell you what happens. Even in a normal film, unless it's a very big film, normal film doesn't get you more than 30% attendance in any case in a theater. You don't get full houses in a multiplex theater. Now, if you're allowed 30%, maybe you'll get 20% or 10% attendance. Theaters can't run like this, at least for some time, with 10 or 15 or 20% attendance, with the air conditioning, with the salaries to be paid to their staff. It's impossible to run a theater with 20 or 30% attendance. So it'll take some time, which is why OTT platform is growing. But I don't think that a time will come when people will stop going to theaters. Because this is what exactly had happened when television came and we had 100 channels free at home. People said, no, why would anybody come to see a play? If you're getting so much entertainment at home, why would and I'm getting it free. Now, for an English play, which we do, ticket costs us something like 2,500 rupees per ticket. A family of 4 goes, it's about 10,000 rupees. So people say, why would they spend so much money when they're getting fantastic entertainment at home? Whether it's film, whether it's television shows. And I said, theater is not just going and watching something. Theater is an outing for a family.
Very much.
People get bored of sitting at home and watching television, whether it's a television serial or a OTT web series. You need to go out. When people come for theater, they, as a family, they come out, they eat there. Or if they go to a play or a film, they go and eat. Then they maybe go out for dinner. It's like a picnic outside. People need to. Why are people dying to get out now? Why aren't people happy sitting at home for the last 3 months and saying we're watching films and programs on television? Why is there such a rush to go out? Why does the government have to keep on saying, don't go out? Because there's so many people going out. People need to go out. People want to go out. They can't be cooped up in a house.
Yes.
So theaters, once they open, whether it's for dramas or films, will get their audience back.
So it's not going to be the future is not going to be OTT as such. It's going to be a balanced.
It will be balanced. There will be more OTT platform things because there are bigger OTT web series being done. There are bigger stars who are acting in those series now. So what had happened with television will happen now here. That there will be great programs coming up. But that will not stop people going out. The whole experience of watching it on the big screen, the whole experience of going out with your family or friends, and you go and eat something, whether you eat popcorn or samosas or whatever, the whole feeling that you're outside someplace is very important to people. Not
The
just
family
sitting at home.
activity makes them, yes.
So it won't affect so much. It will have there'll be a percentage difference that maybe more programs will be there on OTT, so more people will see OTT. But that will not stop people watching movies or plays. They'll always come back.
Right, sir, exactly. And I wouldn't take much of your time because we just got a half an hour lot. I know you are busy, man. We would take other 5-10 minutes with you so that you can answer a few questions what our audience has to. So please, guys, whoever wants can just shoot in, and sir is all ready to answer. He's been talking for like past half an hour, continuously. So one question somebody asked was, who is better, Rajinikanth or Amitabh Bachchan?
I would say in acting terms, as a performer, as somebody who can do variety of roles, I don't think there's any comparison to Amitabh Bachchan. The kinds of roles that Amitabh Bachchan can do, I don't think any actor that at least I know of can do. Maybe the only person who comes close to that is Mohanlal in Malayalam films. He can do he can do romantic roles, he can do action, he can do sad roles, he can do tragedies, he can do all kinds of things. He can dance. Rajinikanth is a mega star. People want to see him doing what he has been doing always. They don't want to see him doing different things. They want to see him doing the kinds of dances that he does. They want to see him flipping that cigarette and catching it in his mouth. They want to see him taking his specs and doing. That is Rajinikanth. So his entire fan following is based on the fact that when I go to a Rajinikanth film, I want to see Rajinikanth's actions. I don't want to see him doing something else. I don't want to see him doing an old man who is now in a wheelchair. I don't want to see Rajnikant like that. Rajnikant has to be this more super than a superstar. So Rajnikant is
Like he should
somehow,
be full of energy.
so he is in that slot that he can't, even if he wants to, do something. He is what he's doing. Amitabh Bachchan has now, over the years, graduated into doing different things. Even he was like Rajnikant. People wanted him to be that angry young man who was a coolie, who was a sort of a downtrodden man who was fighting his way up. Over the years, he's changed his whole personality. He's doing a variety of roles equally well. And I think, I don't know of any other star who can sort of merge into a thing like this so effortlessly. And he's amazingly talented.
Yes. So one of our other viewers has asked, is villain roles the in thing? Do people want to see negative roles more than anything?
No, nowadays, yeah, I mean, with my kind of a face, I only get those kind of roles, unfortunately. I don't get anything different. But no, I think what is happening is the old formula that we had, that the villain was a certain kind. When in the olden days with Pran Saab and all these guys, villain was a different kind of a guy who tried to rape women, who tried to do all kinds of wrong things. I think today's villains are more sophisticated. They have darker shades. So I think because of the new variety of writing and the different kinds of directors coming in, villains are, it's no more just a black and white kind of a thing. So there are shades of things. There are leading guys who are willing to do a villain's role because they're gray areas. They're not all bad. They don't laugh villainously. They don't try and rape women. They don't do all that. They're just bad at times. So that gray area makes it very interesting to do a villain's role. The hero remains always the same, doing
Always the
heroic
same.
things.
Which is your favorite web series?
My favorite web series was House of Cards and Designated
Yes.
Survivor on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yes.
Otherwise, now because I'm stuck here, I'm watching all kinds of things, different things. But these are the ones that I remember. Of course, Game of Thrones, and there's very popular ones I see. But I'm not a binge watcher, so I prefer to see a movie rather than a web series.
Web series.
Because I don't have the patience to sit and watch 10 episodes of 40 minutes each and then see 3 seasons like this. I prefer to watch a movie that gets over in 2 hours. I'm free to do other things. So that is my personal preference.
So we have this one last question from Saurav. People say Bollywood doesn't make good films, but when they produce, that doesn't go empty. You know, the theaters don't go empty. Why is that so?
See, Bollywood has some fantastic directors and writers. Some brilliant guys like Rajkumar Hirani, and these guys are fantastic. I mean, I'm a huge fan of, I'm a friend of his, but I'm a huge fan of his. But apart from that, I don't think Bollywood has the creativity that the South film industry has. You always find Bollywood great films either are remakes of Southern films or remakes of Korean films or Taiwanese films. You hardly find, besides some of these guys that I mentioned, like Rajkumar Hirani, maybe is one of them. There are very few people who come up with great original concepts. They're mostly remakes of very popular films. So I think South, in Indian terms, South has more creativity than Bollywood has.
Absolutely, sir. So it was a pleasure to have you on with us. I will not take any of your time. Half an hour I said, half an hour it is. So I'll see you soon, and thank you, sir.
Is that
Thank you on board. Do you have anything special to say to our people?
No, I'm just saying that, so what I was saying, don't worry about the lockdown. It's slowly getting over. But even when it gets over, don't be in a situation where you feel that now you're free to do what you want. There's still dangerous situations. To keep whatever the government is telling you, whatever the authorities are telling you about keeping your distance, wearing a mask all the time, don't give that up. Don't crowd around. That day I had just gone out for a meeting and I found people at Marine Drive and things crowding around as if there was no tomorrow. No, that is wrong. I think we'll have to keep that restraint. as Mr. Uddhav Thackeray has been saying in all his speeches, if you don't behave yourselves, we'll have to put the lockdown back again. So don't get him into doing that. Let's behave ourselves.
Yes, with the note of behave ourselves and to stay safe and stay home and stay safe. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.